The driver of a Mr. Ding-a-Ling truck was arrested for driving while intoxicated in the ice cream truck. 53-year-old Phil Hollister was pulled over Saturday night. And if that name sounds familiar, it's because he made national news earlier this year during an ice cream truck feud with the operators of Sno Kone Joe. Pat Bailey's been tracking this story for us. He joins us now live at Gloversville City Hall with the latest on this apparent meltdown, Pat.
Yeah, Liz, it certainly was a meltdown. And the newest information this morning, Phil Hollister, the driver of that Mr. Ding-a-Ling truck, I am told by the owner of Mr. Ding-a-Ling, has been fired for just being arrested for DWI this past weekend. Brian Collis owns Mr. Ding-a-Ling, which is based in Latham, but he owns all the trucks, and Phil Hollister has been driving it out here in Gloversville for him, and he was arrested Saturday for DWI. The newest information, again, he has now been fired for being arrested. Another new twist here, I talked to the owner of Mr. Ding-a-Ling, Brian Collis, this morning on the phone, and he told me he does not know where the truck is right now that Phil Hollister was driving after he was arrested on Saturday. He assumes it was towed, as in most cases, if you're charged with DWI, your car would be towed if somebody comes to pick you up. The owner of Mr. Ding-a-Ling saying right now he does not know where that vehicle is, and they're right now trying to track it down. As you mentioned, Mr. Ding-a-Ling driver Phil Hollister was arrested early Saturday morning this past weekend for DWI. The Fulton County Sheriff tells me Hollister swerved his Ding-a-Ling truck into the other lane and almost hit an oncoming police vehicle. Hollister's blood alcohol content, I'm told, 0.15 at the time that he took the test. Tom Lorey, the sheriff, says that the police report that was filed by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office was sent here to Gloversville for city officials to look over.
It's particularly appalling to me that someone would let themselves become intoxicated when they're in a business that solicits business from little children. You know, ice cream trucks are inherently dangerous because they drive down the road and have kids running after them all the time, and to have somebody intoxicated is unthinkable.
Now, I did try contacting Phil Hollister this morning. I called the number that we had for him when we were covering the court case out here. A woman picked up the phone and said that she would deliver him a message, but he has yet to call me back. And as you mentioned, Liz, he made news. Most people know who Mr. Ding-a-Ling and Sno Kone Joe are because of a war here in Gloversville. It was a long court case to decide who would essentially win the permit to serve ice cream in the city. And at the time, Sno Kone Joe lost, and Mr. Ding-a-Ling was awarded the permit. So Phil Hollister, for the last couple of months since that trial, has been serving ice cream here in Gloversville, but will no longer serve it anymore again, as he's been fired after being arrested for DWI.
So should we assume then, Pat, that Gloversville is an ice cream free zone right now? I mean, is there no one going around the neighborhoods making sure that the kids get their ice cream? Will there be no one?
Well, nobody's driven by us just yet. I'm not sure if there won't be anybody yet, Liz, but nobody's driven by us. So we've been out here in front of City Hall for about an hour or so. I did talk to Mayor Dayton King, and I asked him, I said, a few months ago when the trial was going on, you were a punchline on national news and at late-night talk shows. I said, are you fearful that this may happen again? And he said he is fearful that this may, in fact, happen again because of the arrest. He says when you think of Gloversville, you should be talking about how to create jobs for this area, and this is just a black eye for this area right now.
Well, he makes a good point there. We'll see how this all plays out next. Thank you very much. Pat Bailey reporting live for us.